Hey guys, it's Carrie. Lots of amazing sea animals today. Do you know that fish don't actually breathe water? They filter dissolved oxygen from it. Most fish don't have eyelids. The only fish that can blink is a shark. A fish's slimy scales helps them glide through the water more easily. Flying fish? They are thought to have evolved this remarkable gliding ability to escape predators. They gather enough speed to break the surface, and their large wing-like pectoral fins get them airborne. Koi fish? They were originally brought to Japan as a food source. They are descendants of the hardy carp fish. Koi fish were developed by farmers who noticed the bright colour patches on carp and breed them to get the beautiful fish we have today. Koi fish are intelligent and can be trained to eat from their owner's hand. Their brilliant colours make it harder for them to survive because it attracts predators such as cats, birds of prey, and even raccoons. Salmon? They are anadromous, which means they live in both fresh and salt water. They are born in fresh water before moving out to the ocean. When it's time to spawn, they head back to the fresh water. Largemouth bass? Bass can eat prey up to 35% of their body length. They have an average lifespan of 10 to 16 years. Largemouth bass use scent mainly to attack and ambush prey. Frogfish? They are carnivores. They have a modified dorsal fin that has a retractable lure resembling a shrimp, which is used to attract their prey. Frogfish are masters of disguise. Their textured exterior aids in their camouflage. Pufferfish? They can inflate into a ball shape to evade predators. These clumsy swimmers fill their elastic tummies with huge amounts of water and sometimes air and blow themselves up to several times their normal size. Blue crab? These crabs are predaceous and scavenge for food. A male will mate with a female after she has completed her final molt and she has a soft shell. The female will lay up to 2 million eggs in a spongy mass. Sally Lightfoot crab? Their carapace is about 8 to 12 centimetres across. This crab can run very fast, jump and leap. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. Shrimp? These arthropods are actually quite good at swimming. They can propel themselves backwards quickly by flexing the muscles of their abdomen and tail, or swim forward more slowly using the appendages on the underside of their tail. Shrimps are an important part of our ecosystem. They are a food source for many crabs, fish, sea urchins, whales, dolphins, and seabirds. Some species have a symbiotic relationship with fish and clean parasites, bacteria, and fungi off their host. Many shrimp species are scavengers, meaning they consume carcasses and decaying matter. There are some shrimps that are cleaner shrimps, and they help fish, turtles, and other marine animals get rid of parasites by consuming them. A shrimp's size varies greatly. Some are only 1 centimetre, where others will grow to 30 centimetres. Dugong? They are unique and incredibly intelligent creatures. A dugong's diet only consists of seagrasses. They can eat up to 30 kilograms of seagrass a day. Manatee? They are grey aquatic mammals with bodies that taper to a flat paddle-shaped tail. They have 2 forelimbs or flippers with 3 to 4 nails on each flipper. Their head and face are wrinkled with whiskers on the snout. Manatees are gentle and slow-moving animals. Most of their time is spent eating, resting, and travelling. Are mammals and must surface to breathe air. Elephant seal. The southern elephant seal is the largest species of seal on the planet. Males can weigh anywhere between 1,500 to 3,700 kilograms. They can span over 6 meters in length. Pygmy sperm whale. Each pygmy sperm whale has a sac filled with dark liquid in its intestine. This is used much like a squid's ink to escape from predators. The sei whale, that's spelled S-E-I. It is a baleen whale, the 3rd largest rorqual after the blue whale and the fin whale. Blainville's beaked whale. Its lower jaw is highly arched with a prominent tooth erupting at the peak of this arch in the males. Sometimes these teeth get encrusted with barnacles. Whale shark. These huge sea creatures are filter-feeding sharks. They are also the world's largest fish, growing to 12 meters in length, although a fully grown whale shark can reach up to an incredible 20 meters long and weigh 20 tons. Whale sharks can neither bite nor chew. They can process more than 6,000 liters of water an hour through their gills. Its mouth can stretch to 1.2 meters wide, but the shark's teeth are so tiny that they can only eat small shrimp, fish, and plankton by using their gill rakers as a suction filter. Cephalopods is an extinct genus of large predatory marine bony fish that lived during the late Albian. Marine reptiles. These are the reptiles that can live in and around the seas, for example sea turtles and saltwater crocodiles. Sea turtles have been alive since dinosaurs lived on our planet. Most sharks are cold-blooded, but some, like the great white shark, are warm-blooded. Mammals like sea lions, seals, and walruses are called pinnipeds as they have winged feet. Killer whale. They are twice as long and 3 times as heavy as great white sharks. Seahorse. They are small fish. Their bodies are covered in tiny spiny plates all the way from their head down to their curled prehensile tail. The tail can grasp objects, which comes in handy when they want to anchor themselves to vegetation. To move forward through the water, seahorses use their dorsal fin, and to move up and down, they adjust the volume of air in a tiny pocket inside their body called a swim bladder. Blue-ringed octopus. They are stunning. When they are alarmed, these animals will show off their eponymous iridescent blue rings that cover their body and arms. Octopus are ocean creatures that are most famous for having 8 arms and bulbous heads. They have 3 hearts and blue blood. They squirt ink to deter predators, and being boneless, they can squeeze into or out of tight spaces. They are quite intelligent and have been observed using tools. Octopus have an excellent sense of touch. Their suckers have receptors that enable an octopus to taste what it is touching. The only hard part of their bodies is a sharp parrot-like beak that is on the underside where the arms converge. Octopus have powerful jaws and venomous saliva. When octopuses mate, they die soon after. With reproduction, male octopus have a specialized extra long arm which acts like a penis called the hectocotylus. It delivers sperm from a distance. It has a sperm groove down it and a specialized tip. This is an adaptation to mating with cannibalistic females to keep their distance. Cannibalistic females frequently kill and eat males during or after copulation. To mate, a male will insert his hectocotylus into the female's mantle cavity or vulva. He deposits spermatophores, which are sperm packets. This process may take up to several hours depending on the species. Females store their spermatophores until they're ready to lay their eggs. Typically, males die within months after mating, while females watch over their eggs until they hatch and then die shortly after. Fish are cold-blooded, unlike us who are warm-blooded. There is an exception though. Tuna and mackerel sharks have warm blood like us. Catfish. The greatest concentration of sensory organs on a catfish is located on their whiskers, also known as barbels. Catfish develop up to 4 pairs of whiskers. Blue grouper. They have stout bodies and peg-like teeth, heavy scales, a large tail, and thick lips. Clownfish. After the clownfish eggs are laid, the male clownfish guards them until they hatch. All clownfish are born males. Weedy sea dragons. They have long, slender, reddish-brown bodies comprised of bony plates with yellow and purple colours and several weed-like appendages which are used for camouflage. They are native to Australian waters. Clawed lobster. Females that have just shed their shells send out a pheromone to let the males know that they are sexually receptive. Usually lobsters that shed their shells are vulnerable and could be eaten by other lobsters. They can taste with their legs. They have chemosensory leg and feet hairs that identify food. Small antennae in front of their eyes are used for tracking down food that's further away. They chew with their stomachs. The grinding structure for breaking up food is called the gastric mill. It's kind of like a set of teeth on their stomachs, which are right behind the eyes and the size of a walnut. Plesiosaurus grew to about 4.5 meters. It had a long, broad, flat body and a relatively short tail. It swam by flapping its fins in the water, much as sea lions do today. Pliosaurus is an extinct marine reptile. Their diet would have included fish, cephalopods, and marine reptiles. They grew to about 10 meters, and their teeth were triangular in cross-section. The foreflippers suggest that the animal cruised using only the front flippers, using the back flippers for extra speed when pursuing and capturing prey. Leviathan is known for its large skull and massive teeth, indicating it was a powerful predator. It was an apex predator preying on large marine animals. Helicoprion. The unusual tooth arrangement is thought to have been an adaptation for feeding on soft-bodied prey. It may have functioned as a deshelling mechanism for hard-bodied cephalopods such as nautiloids and ammonoids. The complex whorl was composed of up to 180 teeth. Coolosuchus lived along dinosaurs. Its head is the size of a dustbin lid, and there were dozens of ridged fangs for piercing prey and 5-centimetre tusks growing from the roof of its mouth. It kind of resembles somewhere between a newt and a crocodile. It was about the size of a car. Marine reptiles are reptiles which have become secondarily adapted for an aquatic or semi-aquatic life in a marine environment. Many groups of reptiles became adapted to life in the seas, including such familiar clades as the ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. Most marine reptile groups became extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period. Extant or living varieties would include the sea turtles. There are 7 extant species of sea turtles: sea snakes, marine iguana, and saltwater crocodiles also are part of this group. Horseshoe crab. They actually predate dinosaurs. Scientists have discovered fossils of their ancient ancestors that lived 445 million years ago. Dinosaurs first appeared about 200 million years later during the Mesozoic era. Horseshoe crabs have a different oxygen-carrying protein in their blood called hemocyanin. Hemocyanin has copper rather than iron, which gives horseshoe crab blood its bright blue colour. Moray eel. They don't have bony gill covers on their sides. Instead, they use their mouths to orally pump water through the 2 circular openings they have behind their head. Giant squid. They are massive and when full grown can be at least 33 feet or 10 meters in length. These mysterious 8-armed creatures are rarely seen by humans as they live down deep in the ocean. Most of what we know about them comes from finding them washed up on beaches. Blue sea dragon. They are part of a group of creatures known as nudibranchs or sea slugs. They like to free float in currents of temperate and tropical ocean waters worldwide. It is unknown how many blue dragons exist as they are small and hard to observe. Mosasaurus is from an extinct group of aquatic squamate reptiles. It lived from about 82 to 66 million years ago. It likely preyed on bony fish, sharks, cephalopods, birds, and other marine reptiles, including sea turtles and other mosasaurs. It would have preferred to hunt in open water near the surface. Mosasaurus was a late-coming member of the mosasaurs with advanced evolutionary traits such as a fully aquatic lifestyle. As such, it had a streamlined body, an elongated tail ending with a downturn, supporting a 2-lobed fin, and 2 pairs of flippers. The skull of Mosasaurus is conical and tapers off to a short snout which extends a little beyond the frontmost teeth. The upper jaws in most species are robustly built, broad and deep. Goblin shark It has a distinctive shaped snout and an impressive array of long pointed teeth. It has a shovel-like snout, flabby body and a tail with a weakly developed lower lobe. One of the distinctive features of the goblin shark is its protrusible mouth. The mouth can retract to a position under the eye or extend forward under the snout. When feeding, the goblin shark extends its jaws forward faster than any other species of shark to catch its prey. Prey would include bony fishes, squids and crustaceans. The underside of the snout has many pores that are external openings. There is electricity detecting organs here. The goblin shark most likely hunts its prey by detecting electric fields. Jaws by Funko. You can actually pop a small fish or animal into its mouth and it will swallow it. Just shake it upside down to get it back. Sea star. They are invertebrates, much like the sand dollar or sea urchin because they do not have backbones. Most sea stars have spiny skin and 5 arms, although some can grow as many as 50 arms. The arms are covered with pincer-like organs and suckers that allow the animal to slowly creep across the ocean floor. Ammonite. They were shelled cephalopods that died out about 66 million years ago. Fossils of them are found all around the world, sometimes in very large concentrations. Ammonite pleuroceras. Ammonites were born with tiny shells, and as they grew, they built new chambers onto it. They would move their entire body into a new chamber and seal off the old and now too small living quarters with walls known as septa. Ammonite previotoceras. Ammonites would have lived in one chamber, but we don't know how often they built a new one. Cuperoceras. It is characterized by an evolute shell with an open perforate umbilicus, sinuous ribs at maturity, and recurved hollow spines along the ventrolateral shoulders. Nautilus pompilius. It's sometimes called the pearly nautilus. The shell, when cut away, reveals a lining of lustrous nacre and displays a nearly perfect equiangular spiral, although it's not a golden spiral. Anomalocaris. It resembles a giant shrimp. It had no legs but swam by flexing its segmented body and waving the flaps on its sides. Large compound eyes indicate that it had good vision and hunted at night. They are extinct marine arthropods. They form one of the earliest known groups of arthropods. They went extinct at the mass extinction at the end of the Permian. Some interesting shark facts. Sharks do not have bones. They use their gills to filter oxygen from the water. Sharks can see well in dark lit areas. They have fantastic night vision and can see colours. The back of a shark's eyeballs have a reflective layer of tissue called a tapetum. This helps sharks see extremely well with very little light. Kronosaurus was one of the largest and deadliest marine reptiles in the history of life on Earth. Kronosaurus was a pliosaur on the upper end of the pliosaur size scale, rivaled only by Liopleurodon. It was actually a close relative of Liopleurodon. It was equipped with long, bulky, tooth-studded skulls and clumsy-looking but powerful flippers. Once Kronosaurus got a firm grip on a plesiosaur or marine turtle, it would shake its prey from side to side and then crush its skull. Megalodon was massive. It would have weighed as much as 30 large great white sharks. Its jaws could open wide enough to swallow 2 adults standing side by side. Orthoceras? It had a soft, squid-like body inside a cone shell. It was able to grow with the same shell. It did this by creating a new dividing wall inside the shell. Belemnite? They were squid-like animals with 10 arms, each lined with 30 to 50 curved hooks, which were used for grasping prey such as small fish, mollusks, and crustaceans. Animal Planet megashark? Queen triggerfish? Their habitat comprises rocky or coral reefs in the ocean. They are found in areas with sandy and grassy habitats. They use crevices in the ocean to hide out when in danger. Piranha? They have one of the strongest bites found in bony fishes relative to body mass. Interesting whale facts. They are divided into 2 main groups, the baleen whales and the toothed whales. Baleen whales include humpbacks and blue whales, and they have fibrous baleen plates in their mouths instead of teeth, which helps them filter out and consume huge quantities of krill, plankton and crustaceans. Clown triggerfish is diurnal with its activity. It is solitary and defends a territory. It can become very aggressive. Boxfish? When stressed or injured, it releases the neurotoxin tetrodotoxin from its skin. Kemp's Ridley hatchling? They reach maturity between 7 and 15 years of age. Anglerfish? They are bony fish, named for their characteristic mode of predation, in which a modified luminescent fin acts as a lure for other fish. Coelacanths? They are nocturnal piscivores that feed mainly on benthic smaller fish and various cephalopods. They are passive drift feeders. Angel shark? Their unique features are the rounded tip of the nose, the 7 gills instead of 5, and only 1 dorsal fin. Crocodile? They eat mainly fish, turtles, birds, and other small animals. They capture water animals in their jaws with a sideways motion. They seize land animals by the feet and drag them towards the water. After crocodiles mate, the female lays eggs. Some types can lay up to more than 100 eggs. Green sea turtle? They are one of the world's largest species of turtle, weighing between 65 and 130 kilograms. Hermit crab? Hatchlings are born in the water and remain there for a time. They molt up to 6 times to reach full crab form. Humpback calf? Ichthyosaurus? They use their fins for swimming. They lived in the sea and were incapable of returning to land. Their tails had a large crescent-shaped fin. Leatherback turtle? The leatherback shell is leathery. It feels almost rubbery. Liopleurodon was a large species of pliosaur. It was an apex predator in the Upper Jurassic seas around 160 to 155 million years ago. It grew to about 6.5 meters and it was a relative of Pliosaurus and Kronosaurus. Cuttlefish, Basilosaurus, Basilisk, Octopus baby, Kronosaurus, Mosasaurus, Axolotl, Emperor penguin and chick, Nautilus, sea lion, largemouth bass, red-eared slider turtle, goblin sharks, Dunkleosteus. This huge armour-covered prehistoric fish was probably the largest vertebrate of its day and almost certainly the largest fish of the Devonian seas. It resembled a large underwater tank with a thick body, bulging head and massive toothless jaws. It would have had a bite force of about 8,000 psi, much like T-Rex or Megalodon. Dunkleosteus and other placoderms would have gone extinct because they were outcompeted by smaller, sleeker, bony fish and sharks, which went on to dominate the world's oceans for tens of million years thereafter, until the advent of the marine reptiles of the Mesozoic era. It would have grown to about 10 meters in length and weighing possibly 3 or 4 tons. Please stay and watch another video with me. I love to read and reply to all of your comments. Thank you for watching my video. See you again soon. See you guys in my next video.